Hello, everyone. This is Jesse here at Jesse Lee Strength and Fitness. Welcome back. Thank you for tuning in. This is going to be a recap of the bench press and back squat session of week number 3 of my strength training. So the program right now, basically today is a Tuesday. So I'm trying to get 2 of my main strength lifts in during the weekdays. So sometimes maybe it's going to be a Wednesday, Friday. Sometimes it's going to be a Tuesday, Thursday. But either way, no matter how it falls, I'm going to try to get 2 of my strength movements in, back squat, bench press, and some arms today. And on my next lift will be conventional deadlift, barbell overhead press, and some dips. That's kind of how things are running right now. And right now in this phase, basically I'm able to right now just do kind of a linear progression. So I'm adding about 5 pounds per lift, depending upon the movement, but basically just adding about 5 pounds per lift per set. So just as an example, last week I squatted 100 for 8, 120 for 6, 130 for 3 sets of 5 with the last set. So this week, 105 for 8, 125 for 6, 135, 3 sets of 5, and a last set, basically. On that last set, I just kind of go. On today's set, I probably would have had 8, but I just felt like leaving something in the tank. Sometimes it's better just to leave a couple of reps in reserve, depending upon what you're going to be doing for the rest of the day. But it just felt like that was good enough. So I have been able to, basically get those strength gains back. I'm really kind of moving right into these movements. This is a high bar position, so it's on the high part of my back, and with a nice kind of broad chest, sinking down into a deep squat position. It feels really good. Man, I'm feeling strong. So the next movement in this was bench press. So it's the same kind of thing. I added 5 pounds to each set. So last week it would have been 120 for 8, 130. Last week I hit it for 6. This week I felt like I could just get 8. So I hit 135 for 8. And this was 145 was my working sets for 3 sets of 6. And I was able to get 8 on that last set. So really putting together these gains. My body is kind of remembering a lot of these strength movements. As I've said before, I didn't back squat or bench press all summer long because I focused largely on my running, which I was able to accomplish a lot of goals in my running. And now I'm switching those goals to more of a strength training regimen. And I have some ideas in my mind about numbers I'm trying to reach to, but I'm not really fixated on that. I really just want to do the movements well and get stronger incrementally week after week. I did do some dumbbell bench press all summer, and I worked up to some, just some decent weights. So that's why I think my strength is better here. Obviously, my legs I saved for the running, so I didn't do a lot of squatting besides maybe some goblet squats and some split squats and some things like that, reverse lunges and such as a strength training whilst running, which it felt good to save the legs while doing that. And so now just kind of working back up with some high bar back squat and having a great time at that. And then I finished the session off on some biceps and triceps. So I did seated alternating dumbbell bicep curls with the fat grips. So adding a little bit of grip extension, which helps pump the forearms and strengthens the bicep as well as the brachioradialis and the forearms and all that kind of good stuff. So felt good. I did a set of at 25 pounds per hand. I did a set of 13 and a set of 12. So and I do a biceps and then a tricep. I did the TRX skull crushers and a set of 13 biceps and then 10 triceps rested. Hit a set of 12 biceps, a set of 8. And I'm taking those to failure. It's really no big deal there. I definitely noticed that the left arm was weaker. I broke this wrist. And so definitely the left arm generally was weaker on the biceps and the triceps. So just something to kind of take note of. But honestly, how we kind of assess, it's constantly, every session should be a self-assessment. You should be saying, okay, well, I was feeling a little bit of this or that during this movement. I make sure to cover that for the next time. Or take the time while you're doing the session to go ahead and fix a few things if you need something, if you feel something in particular during your bench press, make some changes Don't become so fixated on what you're trying to achieve. Make sure that the body is giving you positive feedback during the movements. Don't just plow through when you feel a little bit of a pain, because you want to stay in the game. Getting injured over and over again through a strength cycle is really not that effective. You can't ever get anywhere. You might lift heavy once, but then you're set back for a few weeks or a few months. And that's not really what this is all about. This is making incremental progress over time by doing the movements well. So if you need any help doing movements well, just holler at me. Thank you so much. Please like, subscribe, and share, and have a great day.